We're going to start a brand new topic today, and I don't know how far we'll go into it because it's very, very long, but at least we'll start and we'll see where it takes us. The topic we're going to talk about can be found in Parshat Mishpatim, and the whole topic is referring to reincarnations, what we call Gilgul Neshamot. And really this is the first reference in any script that we have that is talking about reincarnation.
Really?
In the Zohar.
In Jewish script?
In Jewish scripts, of course. And it's hinting in the Torah and other places, but this is the first place where it's talking about reincarnation, and all the other references in books of Kabbalah when it comes to reincarnation is always going to reference to this place in the Zohar, which is Parshat Mishpatim. It's also known as Saba Mishpatim. But there are other places in different scripts hinting about reincarnations, or reincarnation is not really the right word in English.
Not the right word.
It's in Hebrew it's Gilgul Neshamot, when the neshama comes back to another phase, another part.
Transmigration of the soul.
Yeah, that will be more precise to say a transmigration of the soul. But even more than that, in Hebrew, a Gilgul means that you roll over. And now the phone companies use this term, roll over. Whatever you didn't use in the month before, it rolls over to the next month. So whatever I didn't do in this world, it rolls over to the next phase. And we're going to talk about, we'll see one of the parts in the beginning. The Ramak explains that the reincarnation, we'll call it just from now on Gilgul, it's much easier, is sometimes it will come because one didn't complete his task, him or her, and sometimes it can come as a punishment or a rectification. But nevertheless, it's just easier if we go straight into the topic instead of giving an intro. But the major part we're going to be talking about is Gilgul Neshamot, and it goes very, very very far in, and we'll see how much we can actually go from it.
It's a good subject.
But very, very interesting. And again, this can be found in the Parshat Mishpatim. This is in the Zohar page Tzadik Daled, which is 94a. And it starts by saying, Patach Rabbi Shimon ve'amar. Rabbi Shimon started to say, Ma shekatuv ve'ela mishpatim asher tasim lifnehem. These are the laws that you're going to put in front of them. Now, this can be found in the Parashat Mishpatim. We read that a few weeks ago, where this is the first parasha right after receiving the Torah. The parasha that comes before Mishpatim is Parashat Yitro. That's when we receive the Torah, the Ten Commandments, a very powerful parasha. And right after receiving the Torah, we're getting the parasha full of laws that are, basic laws between a man and a man, laws of stealing and cheating and damage, and it's called Mishpatim. As we mentioned, there are three types of mitzvot. The first one is called Mishpatim, which is things that you would do or you would want to do, whether you got the Torah or don't got the Torah, stealing and damages and so forth. Then, civil laws. Then there's another category that is called Edut. Edut is a testimony. And these are all the mitzvot that we do as a testimony for something that happened. Next week we're celebrating Pesach. This is a mitzvah of a testimony that we left Mitzrayim. Every Shabbat we observe Shabbat. This is a testimony for the creation of the world. Then we have some rabbinical ones, Purim and Chanukah. These are the mitzvot that they testify about something that happened in the past. And then we have another group that is called Chukim. Chukim are rules that don't make sense and our mind will never understand, such as mikveh and kosher and red heifer and so forth. Here, this can be found in Parashat Mishpatim when it's talking about basic laws, civil laws, but everything in the Torah, there's also a much more hidden meaning than what the actual script says. So the parasha starts, Ve'ela mishpatim asher tasim lifnehem. These are the laws that you're going to put in front of them. Now, it has a translation. The Targum, Ve'ilen dinaya distadar kadmeihon. This is the translation in Aramaic. These are the dinim, these are the laws that you're going to set in front of them. Basically saying, in other words, Ilen inun sidurin de gilgula. These are the seder, the orders of the gilgulei neshamot, the order of how the soul comes back again and again and again. We're now going to celebrate next week Pesach, and the night that we celebrate, we call it Leil Seder. Leil is the eve, and Seder is order. When would make more sense to call it, the night of the matzot, or the night of the commemoration of the leaving of Egypt. Why is saying the night of order? The reason why we call it the night of order, because we have to go through an order, one step after the other. You can't skip steps. So we spoke about it on Shabbat when we learned the gates of holiness. You have to, in order to get to one place, you have to go through different gates. You can't go from point A to point Z without stopping on the way. Same thing here. The soul has an order that it has to come into the world. And this is called an order. In Hebrew, it's called Gilgul Neshama, that the soul has to, so to say, roll over and coming again and again and again and again. And the translation of these are the rules that you're going to put in front of them is basically saying, in other words, these are the rules, these are the order, how the souls have to come back again into this world. Shehem, what are these order? Dinin din nishmatin, danu kol chad v'chad lekabel onsheh. The dinim, the judgments and the punishment that all the souls, they get judged. I mean, there has to be some type of a judgment, and each and every one of them at some point has to get their punishment. If you deserve a punishment, of course. If you're good, then there's not going to be a punishment. But each and every one of the souls, they have to be judged, and then they get punished. And the part of the punishment is hidden in the secret of the Gilgul, of the reincarnation. Al seder hanachon hamagia lekol echad kefi chata'a kedei lizdakech. Each soul comes in order, and it has to receive a certain punishment. I mean, the word he's using here is punishment. But every soul according to what he did, and according to the sins that you did. And you can't run away from your sins. In this world you can run away from it. But maybe you can hide from it for a while. But at some point it catches up and you leave the world. So I have to understand that I'm going to do a sin. My soul gets dirty. My soul needs to get elevated to a much higher place. Hashem is kind. He says, listen, I can leave you with your dirt and you're going to stay where you are. Or if you want, I'll help you clean the soul and you're going to be able to go to a higher place. Next time, don't damage your soul. So, part of the rectification, the zikuch, the refinement of the soul, is coming back to this world. And that's what it says, these are the rules that you're going to put in front of them. He wants to say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, these are the secrets of the reincarnations that you're going to lay the foundation and you're going to reveal it to the nation of Israel. Basically saying, in other words, for every time that you're going to sin, has to be some type of a rectification. If you're lucky, you'll come back down to this world. Because if you're not lucky, they'll throw you to the dry cleaner in the world above, and you can already make a quick judgment. Where do you want to be? Over there, being cleansed, or being cleansed down here? So some might argue and say, let me just be in the heavenly dry cleaner and finish with it. But nevertheless, here it's referring to, now the Ramak is going to explain a little bit more deeper that there are different reasons why we come back. It's not only a punishment. Sometimes I'm like a contractor and I'm hired to do a job and I don't get paid by the hour. I get paid by the project. So I come at 8 o'clock in the morning and I can leave at 5, I can leave at 8, I can leave at 9, depends on me. I leave early. It will take me more days to complete the job. If I want to make more money and do it fast, then I'll leave at 12 o'clock at night, and then I'll cut the hours of how much time of labor. But nevertheless, if I didn't finish the project, I have to come back the next day and the next day and the next day till I finish it. So I can come 2 hours a day and it will take me 2 weeks to finish it, or I'll come 10 hours a day and I'll finish it in 2 days. Same thing here. I come down to this world and Hashem says, this is the quota of what you need to do. You want to knock it out in one shot? No problem. You can stay here in one lifetime, knock it out in one shot, finish with it. But we tend to be lazy and we schmear 80 years of our life, 80 years, 90 years if we're lucky, and then we come up to the heavens and says, listen, you only did 20% of what you're supposed to do. You have to go back again. So nevertheless, there's many different ways and reasons why we will get reincarnated. The Ramak, before we even continue in the Ma'amar, the Ramak gives a commentary. Ramak is Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, who is our next door neighbor here. He's buried 1,000 feet from here. And this is the city where he taught his teachings. He says as follows. First, let's explain why this idea, this concept is called Gilgul. Gilgul is a roly-poly or a rollover. Dasha Gilgulu al bet panim. There are two reasons why there's going to be a Gilgul into this world. Ha'echad shu tzaddik. The first one, the person is a tzaddik. Tzaddik meaning that he's right in what he does. We're not talking about right now the tzaddik emet. Talking about the person that he's right in what he does. He does the good in the eyes of Hashem. And he has to complete what he didn't finish in the world, in the life before that. I came here, I didn't finish my job. I went up to Shamayim, they told me, listen, you did very good, but you're still missing 60%, 40%, 20% of what you have to do. Go back again. And this is because I have to come and complete what I didn't do in the life before. And this type of soul will never come back to a place that can maybe cause him to sin. Hashem will say, no problem, you're good with me. I will put you in a place that you don't have the ability to sin. Rather in a safe place where you can fulfill your mission. במקום בטוח לא שיועיל ולא יזיק. Basically putting the soul in a safe place that the soul doesn't have much opportunities to sin, rather has more opportunities to fulfill its mission. אומנם כאשר הרשיע פעם ראשונה, now what happens if the first time the person now does a sin? והוא צריך לתקן. Now you did a sin, it has to be fixed. That's how it works. These are the rules. You mess up, you are responsible. You can either fix it in this world by doing tshuva, or come back again. Now they're going to tell you in the heavenly court, you did very good on the good side, but you also messed up on the bad side. You have to fix this. How do you fix this? If you're lucky, v'shava lezeh olam, it bring you back into this world. You forgot something here, okay, come back and fix it. Im hetiva harei ze tov. Let's say the person sinned. We're not looking at the good part right now. We're looking at the mitzvot. We're looking at the sin right now. They say, okay, go back to this world. The soul comes back to this world. If it did a tikkun, a rectification, good. Now what if I didn't do? I didn't fix the first time. Now I went worse and I did another sin. So now I have two sins. Your person will not going to lose its status because he did another sin. Now again, we'll have to go back again into another life, this time in a second body. First I started in the first body, now I messed it up, now I have to come again in a second body, and so forth. And I will continue sinning, then it will come in the third body, and the fourth body, and the sixth body, and so forth, a deity tahel, till the person will stop, do tshuva, cleanse the sins, and be purified, and rectify everything that he did, and that's it, and you're done. This is when the nefesh of the person is a tzaddik, that the person has the agenda to do something good. This is kind of most of us. The majority we try to do good, but we're still human, and here and there we mess up a little bit. Now he continues, and again, this is all commentary of the Ramak. מדע כי הגלגול הוא עונש קשה לנפש, מכל עונשים שבעולם. He says that the reincarnation, a gilgul, is a punishment for the soul. And it's one of the harshest and hardest punishments that the soul can get. וגיהנום אינו קשה כמוהו, and being in גיהנום is not as bad as a גלגול. מטעם כי הגיהנום הוא רחיצה לנפש. This is the Ramak saying. And the reason why he says that, because Gehenom is just washing the soul. And not only that, Be'esh, it's washing the soul with fire. V'titzeh misham Torah v'nekiya. So you go into Gehenom with all the stains, and you're going to get washed in fire, and they take the soul out, and you're all clean. No, nothing happened. We do that every day when we put our clothes in the washing machine. You can set the washing machine to be cold. You can set the washing machine to be warm, and you can set the washing machine to, I have a mold in my washing machine can be 90 degrees heat. And sometimes you put dirty laundry, dirty towels or sheets or whatever it is, you need to wash it in strong heat. Why? Because the cold water will not get the stains off. Nowadays we have chemicals, so it's a little bit different. But in the olden days they didn't have chemicals, they had to do it in boiling hot water. Now the chemicals, that they use to wash their clothes, this is another different problem.
Kill a person.
Yeah, the chemicals, that's another thing that people don't even notice, that the chemicals that are in the detergent also harms them.
Especially shampoo.
Yeah? That's already touching your body. And that's even bad to have all these shampoos and soaps. Better to do it all natural. But even the chemicals that you put in the detergent that goes on your clothes, sometimes people get rashes and they get all sorts of side effects, and that's from the chemicals in the detergent. But nevertheless, not at the topic right now. Stick to the topic. But he says, the Ramak, that a gilgul, coming back again, is a much harsher punishment to the soul than to just go into Gehenom. Gehenom you go in. Okay, so you get dipped in the fire, they take you out, but you clean. You get cleansed completely. It's almost like going in the mikveh here in the morning. It's freezing in the morning. It's ice cold. And every morning I have the same thing. I put my leg in. I'm very sensitive to the cold. Some people just walk in. I just put my leg in. It's a whole now debate. Should I go in? Should I not go? What should I do? And I end up, just jumping into the water. And the first few seconds in the water, it's like knives. It's freezing cold. It's like knives being stabbed into your body. But after a couple seconds, you catch the breath a little bit, and it comes down, in and out, in and out. You go out of the mikveh, it wasn't that bad, let me go back again. So it hurts the first few moments. So he says, Gehenom is better, why? Because, it's a washing machine. It cleanses your soul, it cleans your soul, but what happens after that? You go out of that, Torah, clean, pure, and nekiya, and also completely clean. Excuse me?
You can't fall.
Yeah, ואחר כך תיכנס לגן עדן. You go into Gan Eden. Isn't it better? Why do I need to come back here? Who needs to say this U-turn? A U-turn, going back again. He's going to talk about it, not here, later on. He talks about what suffering the soul has to go through to come back here again.
In death is very painful.
Yeah.
Especially in the womb, suffer, squeezed out, then you have to go to kindergarten, the whole thing.
100%. That's why the Ramak says, who needs this headache?
Very bad.
So he says, you go out of Gehenom, clean, and then you go, תיכנס לגן עדן, go into Gan Eden, and מחיצת הצדיקים. You're going to be sitting with the tzadikim. I think it sounds like a better deal. אמנם הגלגול הוא קשה לנפש מאוד, nevertheless, the גלגול is very harsh for the נפש, for the soul, כי הוא משל לאיש אחד שטרח כמה טרחות שנים רבות. He's giving a parable of a person that toiled very hard to get something, to achieve something. והוליך סחורה למדינה רחוקה להרוויח שם, like a business. He invested many years in the business, and then he transported the merchandise to a faraway land. Why? To make more money. I mean, why are you making business? You're making business to make money. ובבואו אל פתח העיר ההיא, and when he reached to the city where he wanted to sell his merchandise, they told him, hey, שוטה, תבן אתה מכניס לעפרים? You're bringing here, תבן is the, like straw, that they used to, once in the olden days, straw was very valuable. because you were able to sell it. They used to make maybe a pillow out of it, or use it to make stones like rock, bricks. And they told him, what, you bringing this type of merchandise into our city? En schoratcha shava klum. Your merchandise is worthless because we don't need it in the city. והנה אז יצטרך העני הזה לחזור פעם שנית, מהלך כמה שנים בידיים ריקות ומאמה אין בידו. And he worked so hard to invest to get this straw. When he came to the place to sell it, they told him, we don't need this in the city. Your merchandise is completely worthless. Go back to where you are. And then what happens is he's going around and around from one place to another place with merchandise that he can't even sell. And then what happens? עד ששובו אל מקומו ויחזור ויביא ממין הנאמר לו. And then he has to go back all the way back to where he came from. And they tell him in that city, we don't need straw, but you know what we can use here? We can use here tomatoes. So he wasted years to get the straw. Now he has to go back to his town and start raising tomatoes. ושם המרוחק הדרך ישכח חששך מצויה. And the journey is so far away that by the time he goes back, he wasted all his time. So that's the parable that he's giving for a gilgul, that you waste your time, that you go so far to a faraway land, and when you come there, you came with nothing. Everything that you did for nothing. וזהו דרך הנפש ממש בדינה לא פחות ולא יותר. And this is exactly the path of the soul when it has to be judged, not more and not less. שבא לעולם הזה ויושבת שם 70 שנה. You come here to this world and you waste here 70, 80 years. וטורחת בטרדותיה. And you know what you have to do here for 70 years? You have to work. And you have to be bothered with parnasa and finding another half and raising your kids and paying your rent. And what a headache you have to go through here. And after 70 years of being bothered in this world, הולכת אל בית עולמה. No, you leave back to go back to the world above. והשיביאו שומרי פתח הגן. And right now, you know what happens? The guards that are standing outside of the Garden of Eden, the guards of the garden, they say, you can't come in. What do you mean I can't come in? What do you think I did now for 70 years in this world? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, you accumulated more sins. Go back. Go back? Are you out of your mind? I just wasted 70 years in this world. Now you're telling me I can't even come back here? No, because you made more sins before what you had before. And they may tell their soul, make a U-turn. אי אפשר להיכנס משאין בידו כך וכך. Can you imagine the frustration of the soul after wasting here 70 years? Then it comes and the gatekeeper is saying, we're very sorry. You have more sins, or you know what, you didn't achieve what you were supposed to achieve. You don't have enough. You don't have enough tokens to come in here. ונדחתה ושבה לעולם. Gets pushed, get away from here, and go back again to this world. Again? I just lived here for 70 years. No, you didn't do it right. Go back again. יותר טוב היה שתקבל שם העונש בגיהנום. Better to stay in גיהנום, get your punishment and finish with it. ואחר כך תתאר ותעלה אל פני המלך. Better to be in גיהנום, get punished there, get all the stains off, and then turn around, go into Gan Eden, and you know where you're going to go? You're going to go to see the face of the king. ולא תתגלגל פעם שנית. And you don't have to get reborn again. כי יש שכחת היצר הרע, המשכיח לאדם, על מה בא? And you know what's the problem here? That when you get kicked out, so to say, and you get the U-turn, go back to this world, once you are born again, comes the Yetzer Hara and slaps you on your face when you get born. Now you forgot why you came back here for. That's what happened to us. I don't know why I made a U-turn. I can live all my life and don't even know why I was pushed back again into this world. Why? Because the Yetzer Hara makes you forget where you came from. ויתרח עוד 70 שנה. Now you have another life, another 60, 70, 80 years of a hard work. ואין בטוח מפחד הייסורים. And who says you're going to achieve something in this life again? You might mess it up even more. And not only that, now you have you were going to get chas v'shalom double the hardship. And what from you would have gotten from before in Gehenom. Now you can accumulate double the mess. ואם כן, בלי ספק, עונש גלגול גדול מעונש גיהנום. Therefore, this is what the Ramak says, no doubt that a reincarnation is worse than going to Gehenom. Go to Gehenom, finish with it. Do it in one shot. Who needs the headache? Because you come back into this world again, now you accumulate more junk. Go back again, they kick you out, go back into this world and yo-yo. You know what's a yo-yo? This game, how do you call it? Yo-yo, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Whoa, you get already a headache. So we don't even know how many times we're going backwards and forth here. I don't even remember why I came, what I did. I didn't even know what I'm supposed to rectify. So I'm walking around in this world like a blind person. I'm getting slapped from different directions because I don't even know what. 50% of the hardship of that I get here is baggage that I carry from the world before. I mean, I'm just throwing a conservative number by 50% because we don't really know. But I can suffer now from sickness, disease, hardship, financial suffering, whatever, from something that I'm schlepping from a previous life. I don't even know where it's coming from, why, who, when. There's a story, and the story happened here in Tzfat, close to about 450 years ago, give or take. There was a very rich individual, and he had a daughter that couldn't find the shidduch, her other half. One day, she comes home and she tells her father, I found a good groom. Ooh, that's good news. Let's meet the prize. She brings home a skinny guy, pale, sits in yeshiva, learns all day long Torah. The father's like, what is this? She's like, that's the man I want to marry. He's like, you're bringing me this yeshiva bacher? He's so pale, doesn't go out of the Torah, out of the yeshiva. I need somebody that can get into the business, the family business, run the show here. She's like, that's the man. He says, okay, what can I do? You know, she's not getting married already for years. Better marry him than marry, not marry at all. Comes the day of the wedding, this rich individual, this is a true story, it's not a parable. Comes the day of the wedding, he comes to the groom and gives him a huge amount of money, and he tells the groom, this is half of what I own. Now I want you to take this money and I want you to use this money to take care of my daughter for the rest of her life. I know you're not going to be working. I know you're not going to, provide to her, that you're just going to sit and learn Torah all day long. So I want you to take care of my daughter. No. A few weeks after the wedding, the daughter dies. The father comes to the groom and tells him, give me back my money. The groom says, I'm not giving you the money. The father says, listen, I gave you the money to take care of my daughter. My daughter died, then I want you to give me back my money. It's rightfully mine. He tells him, no, I'm not giving you the money. You gave me the money, it's my money. Okay, start arguing. What's the solution? Let's go to the Beit Din, let's go to the court. They go to the court, sits at the head of the court, Maran Abet Yosef Karo. His Yahrzeit is next week, B'ezrat Hashem. Just remember, it's on next Thursday. Next Thursday, Yud Gimel in Nisan, it's his Yahrzeit. Nevertheless, they go to him, he's the Mara De'atra, the Beit Din, the head of the Beit Din. No questions asked right away. The rabbi tells to the groom, give him back the money. He's right, the father is right, it's his money. The groom says, no, I don't agree with your psak din. I'm not agreeing with your verdict. I want to see the Arizal. Do you think the Arizal is your friend? You think you just knock on the door and just walk and talk to him? He says, no, I want to see the Arizal. Okay, somehow they pull some strings and they go to the Arizal. Now the Arizal had an angel. We know about many tzaddikim that they had an angel, they used to call it a Magid. The Baal Shem Tov had one, and very few tzaddikim, they have an angel that a guide tells them everything. And somebody will come to the Arizal to ask a question, the angel already tell him he's coming to ask you so and so. The person will come in, the meeting was exactly 3 seconds. You get an answer, okay, leave. Okay, the two comes into the office of the Arizal. Arizal doesn't even ask a question, and he tells the young man, you keep the money. The father's like, what? What do you mean keep the money? The head of the Beit Din just said that it's rightfully mine. I want my money. The Arizal says, I have said, let him keep the money. Of course, the father gets very upset. What do you mean, let him keep the money? So the Arizal says, listen, all three of you, he tells to the father, the rich man, you and your daughter and this man are all reincarnated together. In a previous life, you were all business partners. And you and your daughter stole from your business partner his portion. Now you all came back here in another Gilgul. Why? To give him back the money. Now he got his money. Now you can take your money, which is according to Halacha, it's yours. But you and your daughter and this guy will come back again in another reincarnation till you pay him back the money. Better to give him back the money now and finish with it. Your daughter will get a rectification. She's not going to have to come back here. You are going to get your rectification. And he is going to get back his money and move on. That was the verdict of the Arizal. Why you want to come back here again? Just finish with it. I met a lady not too long ago with a very similar story. She came and told me that she was married with a certain man and they started a business. And she told me, I was the business. I was the one who started it, I nourished it, I developed it, and so forth. And she says now the business is worth millions. And of course her husband divorced her for probably a younger or more attractive lady and kicked her out of the business. And she says now the business is worth millions. And I got kicked out of the business. And the new wife, she's getting all the money. And worse than that, the kids that he has with the new wife, they're getting now all the money. And my kids, they're not getting anything. They're barely paying their rent.
What happened to me?
Anyway, she tells me the whole story, and she says, what do I do here? I mean, I started the business. The business is mine. I just got kicked in my tuches, and now we're getting the hard end of it. She's like, what do you think I should do? So I told her, did you ever consider to sue him, to take him to court? She was like, oh, I did that already. And I was like, okay, so what was the result? She was like, I lost. I was like, all right, that doesn't show much. She was like, well, he has money, he came with good lawyers. And I was like, okay. And what after do you do after the lawsuit? She was like, well, I sued him again. And I was like, well, okay, what will happen in the second time? She was like, again, I lost. So she says, so the money is not yours. Obviously, you owed him this money from a previous life, and he came to take his money. And if you try twice to sue him, doesn't matter if he has good lawyers. Because if you find another good lawyer and you show the case, and the case has something to make out of it, then a lawyer will tell you, okay, I'll take the case, I'm signing you on a 30% retainer. That when I get you the money, I want 30%. And a good lawyer sees the potential. He says, we're talking about 20, 30, 40, 50 million. He's going to make a big chunk. Don't worry, you can also find a good lawyer. And if you went twice to court and you didn't get the money, that's your sign. Your money is not yours. Leave it alone. Let go. Let go, because obviously there's some type of a tikkun here. And better to let it go right now. And you know what? The second you let go, you probably will rectify what you damaged in a previous life. Besides, you never know. Once you let go, when your hands are closed, you can't take anything. It's like, I told you already, how they hunt monkeys in Africa? There's a certain breed in Africa, and I don't know, maybe their fur is expensive. I don't know what's going on with those monkeys, but there's a trick how they hunt these monkeys. And they put holes in trees, and they pour salt in it. And the monkeys like salt. And the monkey goes and he puts his hand in like this into the hole, and he grabs the salt. Now comes the hunter, and the monkey sees the hunter, he comes to take his hand out, and he's stuck. He's not smart enough to open the hand and let the salt out, and he so much wants the salt, so his hand is closed, he can't go out, and he gets hunted. Same thing here. Sometimes we keep our hands closed, and you know what happens when my hands is closed? I can't take anything. If I'm holding something in my hand, how can I pick up something else? So sometimes you need as well to let go. Open your hands, something else is going to come and you can grab something completely new. So in that specific case, I told her, listen, I think, I'm not telling you what to do, I think you should let it go. It's obviously not your money. Just let go. And if you deserve this money, you'll get it in one way or another. Nevertheless, we come down into this world and we get slapped right and left in our face, and we don't even know where it's coming from. And that's a very good chance that I'm now paying the bill of all these lives that I messed up. Now that person is slapping in my face because maybe 100 years ago I did something bad to him. And that person and this person, I don't even know where it's coming from. Basically saying, This is brought down by the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero. He says very clearly, I think reincarnation is a bigger punishment than Gehenom. If you go to the heavenly court and they tell you come back here, tell them I want to go to Gehenom. Just dip me in the ball of fire and let it be done with. That's what the Ramak says. Now, now he starts explaining. Up until now, we just gave a little preparation, an intro, what the Ramak has to say. Basically saying that Gilgul is not such a big prize. Now he starts. I'm talking about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. We finished with the Ramak. Now he starts explaining the psukim in Parashat Mishpatim. How does the parashat starts? Ki tikne eved ivri. First, if you buy a Jewish slave, you should be fresh in your mind. We read that a few weeks ago, the Parashat Mishpatim. He says, if you would buy a Jewish slave, 6 shanim ya'avod, he has to work 6 years, uvashvi'it yetzeh lachofshi chinam. And in the 7th year, he goes out of his slavery for free. Now comes Rabbi Shimon and says, well, do you think the Torah is just referring to a real life scenario? No. Let me tell you what the psukim is trying to tell us. And he tells to his students, Chavaria, listen, my friends, Chavaria is my gang, my friends. A gang is actually a bad thing, right? It could be, but anyways, in Hebrew, Chavaria is my group, my how? Comrades. Okay, so he tells it my chevre. Up until today in Hebrew, we say chevre. In Aramaic, it's Chavaria. But in Israel, your crew, your friends, is your chevre. He tells them, chevre, Chavaria, iddan hacha legala, kam marazin temirin de gilgula. Now I'm going to tell you some secrets here between these verses when it has to do about the reincarnation. What does he tell them? Now that we're learning these verses, now it's a very auspicious time for me to reveal to you some hidden secrets, specifically when it comes to Gilgul Neshamot, when the soul has to come back over and over, because there's a big hint here. And he says, Ki tikne v'divri, when you buy a Jewish slave, 6 shanim ya'avod, 6 years he has to work. Kad nishmata itchayvad begilgula. This is when the soul of a man is being punished in going back to this world by doing sins in his life. There's going to be 2 options here. The soul comes after Shamayim to the heavenly court. They tell the soul, you did A, B, and C. They find the soul guilty. Very simple. This in Shamayim, it's not like the courts here in Israel or in America that everything is corrupt. In Shamayim, there's no corruption. They tell you, you did A, now you have to set the consequences. If you then can't do the time, don't do the crime. And they find the soul guilty, and they say to the soul, okay, you got to go back to this world. Now, he starts explaining. If the soul is coming from the side of a slave, what does it mean a slave? If the soul is a slave, meaning coming from the world of Yetzirah, that there's a certain angel in the world of Yetzirah that is responsible or in charge of the souls there. This angel is called Metatron. Hanikra Eved Ivri leMalchut Atzilut. This angel is called an Eved, a slave to the world of Atzilut, specifically to the sphere of Malchut. Deihu Kali Lishit Sitrin, and this specific place is included in 6 corners, like a cube. A cube has 6 sides. And what are these 6 sides? These are the general structure of the world of Yetzirah. The world of Yetzirah is basically saying to us we have to imagine a cube. And a cube has 6 sides. Why specifically 6 sides? Because the world of Yetzirah is a manifestation of the Zeir Anpin. We learned that in previous classes, that Zeir Anpin is the name of the face of the 6 midot. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. And this is called 6 lines, 6 kavim. You can imagine now in your mind either 6 lines, or better for this example to imagine a cube, because the cube has a top, a bottom, and 4 sides. והיינו נשמה זו נמשכה לאדם מזיווג שנעשה בימות החול. If you remember, we spoke about it last time, that when the father and mother are together and they have marital relations on a weekly day, the soul will be pulled from the world of Yetzirah. And if they're having their marital relations on Shabbat, then they have a chance to bring the soul from Olam HaYetzilut, and if not, then Olam HaBriah. But if the act was done during the week, then the soul, the highest what they can reach, will pull a soul from the world of Yetzirah. שאז אי אפשר להמשיך נשמה אלא מעולמות ביאה. When the act is being done during the week, you can't pull a higher soul from this act. The maximum you can maybe reach is the Olam HaBriah, but nevertheless, if it's done in the will of the week, then the soul that you can pull down into the world has to come from the lower worlds. כתיב ב, as it says about this soul, 6 שנים יעבוד. It says about this specific soul, 6 years it has to work. What does it mean it has to work 6 years? Gilgulin dila. It has to go through Gilgulim, another life and another life, in order to rectify its sins. Every time there's going to be a sin, and it has to come back into this world. Lo mitchayva ela shishnin. And you don't have to come to get reincarnated only most 6 times. The soul will come up to the heavenly court, they'll find the soul guilty, and now it has to come back in a reincarnation, but not more than 6 times. That's why it says, 6 shanim ta'avod. 6 times it has to come, but the 7th year, that's it, you're out. והיינו, אם לא תיקן בגלגול הראשון, תגלגל עד 6 פעמים. If you didn't fix in the first reincarnation, then they give you 6 reincarnations to come, 6 times. You can come over, 6 attempts, so to say. If you fix it in the first one, good, go back. And if you didn't, go to the next one. You didn't, go to the 3rd one. This is rolling over. You keep rolling over. But maximum 6 times. Now, of course, this is just referring to this. I mean, because you can come 1,000 times. But it's telling you this is the first stage. This is, like even in this world, if you don't have a criminal record and you get arrested, so say, okay, first time, we're not going to give you the maximum. It's the first time, you're still a nice guy, we'll give you the minimum. If you sat in jail and after they get arrested, then you come back again in front of a judge, the judge says, this is your 2nd time. Now I can't give you a discount anymore, because you already did that. Obviously, you didn't learn from the first time. So here, it gives it 6 attempts. Ad deishlimat 6 dargin, me'ahu atar de'intilat. Till it will complete 6 levels, and these levels are madrigot, so to say, are levels. These levels of the first place where it came from. So it has to complete, so to say, these 6 levels, especially where it came from. Shema yecholet shel olam ha'yetzirah, and this is the chambers, the heichalot of the world of Yetzirah, that they are corresponding to 6 sefirot, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. Which means that I came from the world of Yetzirah, and I damaged and I fell down, then I have 6 levels, so to say, to rectify, corresponding to the 6 sefirot. Now this is the Ramak who gives a commentary. He says, Ki chesed mitlabesh beichal ahava. Chesed gets dressed in the chamber that is called love. Gvura mitlabesh beichal azchut. Gvura will get dressed in the chamber that is called merit, azchut. And the Tiferet will get dressed in the chamber that is called ratzon, the will. Netzach gets dressed in the heichal that is called noga, the chamber. Hod gets dressed in the chamber that is called etzem hashamayim, the essence of the heavens. And Yesod gets dressed in a chamber called Livnat HaSapir. Livnat HaSapir is, we learned about it if you remember, the stone, it's not a sapphire, but it's like a stone that creates light. V'amalchut nichlal bo, and Malchut is included in Yesod. So, when I come from the world of Yetzirah, because the soul was pulled down to the world from a marital relation that was done during the week, then when I make a damage, I have to go 6 levels in order to rectify it. And I can do it in one shot, or do it in a few shots. שבאלו אבב קווים מושרשות כל המצוות, in these 4 levels, that you can look at it as 4 lines, 6 levels. In these 6 levels, that I can look at it as 6 lines, or in a shape of a cube, all the mitzvot are rooted in these 6 levels. כי מצוות עשה בסוד הימין, הם בחסד, all the positive mitzvot, 248 positive mitzvot, their essence, their root is coming from the right side, which is chesed. And all the mitzvot that are negative, all the precepts, mitzvot lo taseh besod השמאל, הם גבורה. They're rooted in the side of גבורה. והתפארת הוא התורה כולה. And tiferet, there is a mixture of chesed and גבורה, includes the entire Torah. ונצח עוד יסוד, הם תנ"ך. They correspond to the 24 books, including the 5 books of Moses, plus the other 19 books that are what's called the scripts and the prophets. Which means that when I learn the Tanakh, it's corresponding to נצח הוד יסוד. והכתוב מדבר עם הגוף ואומר לו, now the script comes and says about the body, כי תקנה, when I buy a slave, אתה הגוף, the body, אתה means is the guf, the actual body. עבד עברי, what's a Jewish slave? היינו נשמה מעולם היצירה נקרא עבד. Basically acquiring a soul from the world of יצירה that is called a slave. 6 שנים יעבוד, you have to work 6 years, that's what it says in the Torah, meaning נשמה זו יכולה להתגלגל עד 6 פעמים. This specific soul has a max, a cap, how many times it can get reincarnated. Maximum 6 times. אם לא זכתה לתקן בפעם הראשונה, if it didn't merit to fix in the first time, צריכה לעבוד שיעבוד, מלאכה וייסורים וחלאים ודלות וטלטול וטירוף, וזה העולם כדי לתקן עוונותיה. If it didn't fix it in the first round, you know what this soul is going to have to go through? It's going to have to go through shi'abud. Shi'abud is slavery, but it's harsh slavery. Melacha, hard labor. Yesurim, hardship. Chalaim, diseases. Dalut is poverty. Tiltul is when you're getting thrown from here to here to here to here. How many times you get kicked out of where you are? Tiruf, madness. Bezeh olam. All this in this world. Just imagine what you have to go. For one time I didn't fix my sins. You have to go in this world and you have to go through all this list that I just said. Why? כדי לתקן עוונותיה. To rectify the sins that I messed up in the first time. Let's just do a little more piece because it's connected. I know we're kind of a little bit running out of our time. אבל אם נשמתה היא מסיתרא דשכינתא דאי שביעית, what happens if the soul is coming from the side of the Shekhinah? Not what we just said now from the world of Yetzirah. Now, the first part, we said this is a soul that comes from the world of Yetzirah. Why it comes from the world of Yetzirah? Because the souls are created. I'm not talking right now on the Yechidah and the Chaya. I'm talking about the Neshama, definitely the Ruach and the Nefesh. It's manufactured while the parents are having marital relations. So if they're doing it during the week, they're manufacturing a soul, so to say, from the world of Yetzirah. If you remember, I gave a metaphor in one of the classes. What do you mean the soul is created? Take now, my girl has this little tube that we put water in it and we mix it with the soap, and it has another tube that goes in and it has a hole, and she goes like this, and then in the hole now there's water and soap, and then she goes and a lot of balloons come out, bubbles, and she spits in it, like blows air, bubbles come out. So this is the same idea. In this tube is the water and the soap. This is the essence, the root of it. Then when you blow it through this little hole, it starts coming out bubbles. Now, where's the bubble coming from? From the mixture of the water and the soap in this tube. So when a man and a woman have marital relations, they're pulling out, so to say, something from its root, and so to say, blowing air, and whoop, you bring in a bubble. Because, a man and a woman having marital relations, there's millions of sperm count. Only one gets to be caught. So same thing here. You blow a bubble, thousands of bubbles, they come out. Only one will be the bubble, so to say, that gets attached. So if it's done during the week, then tons of neshamot are flying out from the bank of souls, but only one will catch. You don't know which one. Nevertheless, when it happens in the act during the week, it's coming from the world of Yetzirah. But it can also come from other places. If this soul, right now we talked about a soul that comes from the world of Yetzirah, just to summarize it, then if it sins, it will have to come back into this world. It can only fix its sins in reincarnations, and it will give 6 attempts. And if it didn't fix it up in the first attempt, the soul's going to have to go through a lot of hardship. Needless to say, he's going to come in 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, and so forth. But if this soul is coming from the side of the Shechina, De'ihu Shevit, what happens if the soul was rooted from the side of the Shechina? She Sefira Shvit. This is the 7th Sefira, Me'azayin Tachtonot, from the 7th lower ones, but this is coming from the world of Atzilut. If that soul was rooted from the Shechina, it's coming from the world of Atzilut. It can be from marital relations during Shabbat, or Yom Tov, or Rosh Chodesh, or mainly at night on Friday night. This soul, neshama kazot nimshechet al yedei zivug shenesa b'leil Shabbat. This type of a soul is when the act, the marital relation, is done on a Friday night, which is the highest time for the husband and wife to be together. Vadai maktiv. Now, what does it say about this soul? Uvashviit yetzel lachofshi chinam. When it's talking about in the parasha, 6 years they have to work, and the 7th one is free. When this type of a soul, it's referring to the Shvi'it, the 7th Sfira, which is mainly talking about the world of Atzilut. Pirush Adam kazeh shenishmato ma'ashchina hi Shvi'it. A person like that his soul is coming from the Shechina. Shechina is the feminine aspect of the divine. This is considered the 7th level. Af ki harbe lifshoa והיה ראוי לקבל עונש על ידי גלגול של שיעבוד מלאכה העולם הזה. Even though, let's say that person will sin, and will sin a lot, and now is worthy, she is worthy to be punished. And how? By coming in another body, in a reincarnation, and to be bound and slaved, so to say, in the hard work of this world. עם כל זאת, nevertheless, יצא לחופשי חינם. That person will go free, freedom free. That's what the verse says, חופשי חינם. Meaning, לא ישתעבד בגלגולו. Meaning that soul is not going to be slaved in the reincarnation. וטעם הדבר, what's the reason for that? That tzaddik ודאי לט במלאכה. Because the foundation that is called tzaddik, of course, one cannot say that it has a labor here, and the labor of sifting between the souls. Because the soul came from the root of the souls and not in the place of the separation, therefore the soul doesn't have to be slaved into the reincarnation. Since that soul comes from the world of Atzilut, in the world of Atzilut there's no birur, there's no sifting. Therefore, that soul can't fall into the klipa. The soul is coming from a much higher place. Even if it sins, it doesn't fall into the klipa. The klipa doesn't have any grasp on this neshama. Even if he sins, just because he comes from a high place. That's why, since this soul is from there, from this high place, it got rooted out of the Shechina. The Shechina is receiving brand new souls from the Sphira that is called Yesod. It says about this soul, now in this soul it's saying about, if you from the 7th level, you holding the platinum member, no problem, you're going out for free. You don't even have to go through the hardship of reincarnation. Perush let bashi uboda. The meaning, doesn't have any shiabud of the hard work of this world, klal, at all, אלא תתקן במה שעוסק בתורה ומצוות. Then the soul can get its rectification by learning Torah and doing mitzvot. And that's why you see sometimes people in this world that it seems like their life is kind of smooth, not too much, not too rocky here. And they come to this world and they're born into a family, right into an observant family, and they learn in yeshiva all day long. They, from day one, they're in yeshiva. They're not so busy with the acts and sins, and you see that the person just learns Torah, does mitzvot, simple life, not such of a rocky life. And you're saying, okay, that person is getting its rectification just from learning Torah and doing mitzvot. As to opposed to another neshama that came from the world of Yetzirah, that will have to go through suffering, what we just said here, of hard work and diseases and afflictions and hardship and poverty and madness. And sometimes that's what you see with some people, that their life is exactly what we just said. And on the other hand, sometimes you see people that their life is pretty smooth. Now, it doesn't mean that right away you can make a quick analogy and says, oh, your soul is from Olam HaTzilut and your soul is from Olam HaYetzirah. We're nobody to make such an analogy. The Arizal was probably the only one who was able to look into a person and tell the person exactly where the soul came from and exactly what the rectification needs to do. But now we're just learning it mainly because we want the knowledge. More than that, I don't only want the knowledge, I want to know how to find out in me where I'm coming from and what I need to do. I don't want to come back again. I don't want to go up to Shamayim and tell me, Habibi, you did a good job, but only 40%. You still have 60% to rectify, go back. That's it. This is my last stop. I'm not coming back here again. I don't know about you, but I'm not having fun here. I want to finish with it. That's why I'm taking my opportunity to the extreme. I'm not waiting for some miracle to happen. This is, I don't know, this might be my last opportunity. Every moment is like, for me, tomorrow I might not be here. And means that today has to be from morning to night, has to be devoted to Hashem. I can't miss one thing, not even a moment. So I don't go on Facebook and I don't play nonsense and I don't waste my time. Because I know I'm constantly saying this Facebook because I can't stand to see people wasting their life on this Facebook thing. So the point is that you have to internalize, I'm not coming back here. I don't want to come back here. This is chas v'shalom if I die. What happens if Mashiach comes and I didn't finish my tikkun? What am I going to do? I'm going to be left out? What happens when Mashiach comes and I didn't finish my tikkun? What, I'm not going to be able to stand next to Mashiach? They're going to kick me out of this world? In the beginning, when Mashiach comes, there's still going to be death in the world. Meaning some are going to might see the redemption and you got to go out. What? I got to go out? The redemption just came, you're kicking me out? Sorry to tell you, you didn't do right tshuva. So
They'll get reincarnated.
They'll come, yeah. Well, depends what they did. I mean, if they talk a lot of Lashon Hara, they might not come back in a resurrection of the dead. If they do certain acts, you're not allowed to give loans and interest and stuff like that. You don't get up in the resurrection of the dead. There's a whole list of things. What will not allow you to be resurrected? So I'm taking my job pretty serious. I'm not going to be lazy here because I don't know where I'm holding right now. I don't know how bad is my baggage. I don't know what's my balance. I might feel now very observant and say, oh, I'm doing great. Who says you're doing great? You might even putting only 2 drops in a barrel that you're missing. You don't even know what you're missing. So now is the time to be lazy and to sit all day long and do nothing? No. Because Mashiach is coming. More than that, if I die today, tomorrow, the next day before Mashiach comes, I don't know what's waiting for me up there. So what if I have a long beard? Who says that that's what's going to give me my applause up there? I don't know where I'm holding. I need to take my job serious here. And if you don't take your job serious here, I mean how you rectify your behavior. Now, of course, one cannot look at the mountain and says, this is a much too high mountain for me to climb. I will never make it, but rather not start. So that's why we're learning this. We're not learning this to come and show to the world, oh, I know, deep secrets of the Zohar. That's not what I'm learning this for. I want to learn so I can know what to do. And if I don't know what to do, then I'm just being led by fools and by liars in this world, and I don't know where they're taking me. They can take me for a ride here, for all I know. Because it seems like nobody knows what they're doing here. So I now going to go like a herd behind somebody that he has an agenda and I don't even know it. He's not even guiding me the right way. So I don't want to be the one, sometimes when you're walking somewhere and everybody's going after somebody. It's just happened to me now. I land in New York, everybody goes off the train with the trolleys. Where are you going? Oh, I'm following this guy. Where are you going? I'm following that guy. But the trolley, there are suitcases in the other carousel. The first guy walks, everybody goes after him. So same thing here. So there's one leader who's fake, and he just wants to make money on your back, and everybody follows let's go after him. But you know where he's taking you. Maybe he's taking you for a deeper pit. So I need to learn. I don't trust anybody. I learn from the script, so I know what I need to do, so I can recognize very clearly what I need to do in this world. That's the reason why we're learning that. We also learn every Tuesday from the book of Gates of Reincarnation of the Arizal. And again, I kept repeating it. We're not learning it to flag to the world that I learned deep concepts of Kabbalah. I don't care about that. I learn it only for one reason, that I want to know what I need to do. I don't want to be led here by some liar for 10, 20 years, and then to find out that, wait a minute, the whole time you're telling me I wasted my time? I was going on the wrong path? So what if I put a yarmulke on my head? That doesn't mean anything. I want to make sure that every moment in my life, I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do for my rectification. This is really the reason why we're learning that. Bezrat Hashem will continue tomorrow, we'll continue many days, because it's a very long, it's pages over pages. But Bezrat Hashem, it's very, very deep, very, very interesting, and hopefully, when we go through it, it starts giving us more the knowledge of what I need to do in this world. And maybe it will wake up a few people to understand that my life here is not about making more money, it's not about whatever it is, it's not about wasting my time. And the things that can drive me the most crazy is the waste of time. And I see people wasting their time. Time is so valuable. Every second of this world is a moment that you'll never gain back. And you're wasting your time on nonsense. I understand sometimes life is overwhelming. I understand you need to relax and lay back a little bit. I don't know. I know. I also sometimes says to myself, relax a little bit. You work 25 hours a day. Why don't you hang out with a buddy and relax? No, I don't know. I don't want to do that. Because, I don't want to come up to Shamayim. They'll tell me, in that hour that you were sitting with your buddies and having beers, in that hour, this is what you could have done. So I know it not necessarily applies to everybody. Some people say, listen, there's a level how much I can put out. But I see the value here. And, some people go on a vacation to a nice big city, and from morning to night, they're touring the city. And some people come and the whole week of vacation, they're in bed, and they didn't even see anything. So I don't want to come back to this world, and up there in Shamayim they tell me, listen, you were a nice guy, and you wasted your time. I'm sorry to tell you. So put your gear back on, you're going back again, and you get the kick, and whoop, again you fall down. So who needs this headache? Bezrat Hashem. I mean, the point is that we have to open our eyes and to realize I have 24 hours a day. Every hour has 60 minutes. Every minute has 60 seconds. What am I doing with every moment of my life here? I want to apply something positive. If I'm not going to do something positive, then you know what I'm going to do? Something negative. That's how it works. There's no parv. Bezrat Hashem, we should merit to have the zchut to apply these positive acts so we can rectify our actions. And Bezrat Hashem, maybe have the merit to pay the bills. In this world, you can owe the credit card company $100,000. If you're lucky, you go to the credit card company and you tell them, I can't pay it. So they say, what can you pay? I can pay $20,000. Okay, past 40 right now, we'll mark out the whole other 60. You say, I can't give you the 40. I can give you 20, or 22, 25. And you negotiate. At some point they say, okay, just give us what you can. Let's get it over with. Just pay it in 3 installments and finish with it. Same thing here. You can pay your debts. You can how do you call it? Like minimize it, jump a little bit, but you have to do it, and this is the time. So we have to take it serious. Zad Hashem, we should have the zchut, the merit. It's a huge merit that the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, if you're willing to take the responsibility, I'll help you. That's what Hashem says. Our sages say it very clearly. Person that comes and says, I want to, Hashem says, no problem. You want to, I'll help you. And if chas v'shalom a person that wants to become impure, they're helping. They make him. If you want to be involved in impurity, they'll send you all the opportunities to go into the mud. But when a person says, that's it, I had enough. I want to work on myself. I want to clean myself. I want to rectify everything that I did. So Hashem says, no problem. I'll give you all the assistance in the world. Just be genuine. Just be real. I'll help you. So, Bezrat Hashem should merit to mamash reach a level of tikkun, of a rectification. And we should use this information for positive actions and not to use it for nonsense.